Không đi rồi mình.
So guys, we will start in 5 minutes. Okay, so let's wait so other can also join. I hope guys my screen is visible, right? I'm audible properly. Any lag on my voice?
No, everything is okay.
Okay, that's good.
Good evening, Hemu. This is Panjala Join.
Hey, good evening, Panjala.
मैं बोल लूँ क्या फिर?
So guys, let's wait for 3 more minutes and after that we will continue with the demo. Okay,
Okay,
guys. So
welcome.
we are good to start. So yeah, Bidesa, you can take. Let me start the recording meanwhile.
Okay. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So this side with it. So just wanted to have 5 minutes quick introduction to this course. After that, Hemu sir will start. So guys, this training, as you know, this will be taken based on networking plus security. Also, little bit we'll be covering it. So I just want to tell you that this will help you right now in every company, guys. Right now, cloud is in huge demand. So we are focusing mainly, we have introduced this course so that you can learn it plus you can implement it. So our focus from this training is like you will be able to work in AWS cloud from starting plus build your network. So let's say if I am having a concept in hardware, previously you implemented the concept, the same concept you can deploy in cloud. And why people are moving into cloud. Plus this training, I want to tell you, special feature is this training will be your weekends and it will be covering whole network technology, which is a huge demand. And prerequisite is only you need to have basics routing switching. So whoever is from network background, whether security or whether load balancer, nowadays people are asking for cloud skills. And AWS is a demanding skill, which is number one in cloud. And we will be focusing mostly on design part, implementation and deployment. And Hemu, you know, already is a working professional. He's working in these technologies. Like we will be covering this course in such a way that you can implement in your work environment. Plus, guys will be supporting you, even will help you even in doubts. Let's say if you have doubts, you can call us Monday to Friday for that. And we'll be concentrating more theory part plus lab both. So we'll say that, let's say if any concept load balancer or a WAF or anything nowadays, people want hybrid. So most of the time, which I have seen right now is people are working in cloud. People want cloud skills. You can go to naukri.com. You can search this technology and it's in huge demand. Plus, once Hemu starts, after that in Q&A, you can ask more. And that's it from my side. I'll be handing over to Hemu and he'll be starting with the webinar and then we will have a Q&A. Hemu, you can go ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone. My name is Hemu and I'm the trainer for this particular training. So the thing is, let me just tell you what are the things I'm covering in this training. I will go through with the course content and we will also perform one of the lab on the AWS environment. So guys, before starting this training, can you guys just confirm over the chat I'm audible properly? My screen is visible to everyone. Just type yes, no on the chat so I can able to understand everything is good to start. Okay, that's great. I got the yes, so which means we are good to start. So guys, if you have heard over the AWS have multiple certification and it has a multiple tracks as well, right? So on this particular training, what I'm covering AWS certified advanced networking specialist training. Means AWS has a one exam code ANS C01. I will cover this particular content. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me put everyone on a mute so it will not make any noise and all. Okay, cool. So guys, what I will cover your AWS certified advanced networking specialist curriculum. Apart from that, what I have done on this particular course, I have done the customization. I have added lots of use cases, which is done in the day-to-day production environment, like how we can deploy how we can deploy load balancers, how we can deploy PaloAlto, how we can deploy Cisco ASA, right? How we can basically connect with the AWS environment, how we can connect your your data centers with the AWS environment, right? So all these things I'm going to cover in this particular training. Okay, and what I have done with regards to the customization, I have added lots of use cases, lots of practical use cases, and these are the things which I'm going to cover. And the guys, prerequisite for this training, you just need a basic understanding of CCNA routing and switching. I don't want you should have a knowledge on cloud, because in the same course I have added the cloud computing as well. So initially 2-3 classes I will take over the basic cloud computing, which will cover your fundamental things. Okay. This particular batch I'm starting from 3rd of Feb, and the timing is 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST, and it's a weekends batch, guys. I will take this classes only on weekends. Just remember. Okay. Fees for this training is 10,000. Now, let's try to understand what are the things I'm going to cover in this training. So, guys, this training is around 60 plus hours. So, there are a total of 20 classes. And why the length is 60 hours? Because I am going to cover so many labs, so many practicals, and which needs time. Okay. You will get the lifetime interview support. You will get the documents. You will get the recorded videos with the lifetime access through my video portal. I will help you building the lab, because we need a lab base as well in your local system to perform some IPsec VPN related labs, right? So these things I will cover. It's a weekends batch. You can also able to discuss any type of issues if you are basically facing in your production environment, and you will also get the mock interview support from our side. Okay. Now, let's try to understand the course content. What are the things I am going to cover in this particular training? So with regards to the course content, basically, let me start from here. So as I have mentioned, prerequisite for this training, you should have a basic understanding of networking. So what I will do, I will start this particular training with the introduction of cloud computing, where we will discuss the what are the essential characteristic of the cloud, what are the benefits of the cloud, right? What are the service model available in the cloud computing, what is infrastructure as a service, like platform as a service and software as a service. We will try to understand all these models, and we will also try to understand the public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, on-prem DCs, right? I will also explain you the comparison, right? How we can, like, what kind of component available on the AWS and what are the component available in your on-prem data center. So you will get the idea. Oh, if you want to configure this thing, you have to check this, or you have to configure this particular service over the AWS environment, right? So I'm going to cover everything. We'll discuss what is the advantage of the cloud, what is Amazon, AWS. So from here I will start with the Amazon. We will go through with the history. All these things I will cover, right? We will go through with the AWS services, AWS history, why we will learn the AWS environment, right? Why I have choose here AWS, why I have not choose the Azure environment or the other cloud platforms, right? I will tell you the exact difference and what is the like business model of AWS, why customers is using AWS a lot, right? Everything I'm going to cover. AWS certification, I will go through with the certification track as well, right? How you can start your AWS journey, what are the necessary certificate needed for the network and security engineers, because this course will help a lot for the network and security point of view, guys. If you are a network engineer or you are a security engineer, then definitely this course is designed for you. Okay. I will explain you how we can create the AWS account, free tier limitation, right? How we can enable the multi-factor authentication, how we can define the budget, right? Introduction to billing dashboard, cost express. So all these things I will cover, like how we can create a production account, how we can discuss the IAM like user management, how we can add the admin account, which is journal account, how we can add the production account, how what is the access keys, because we need access keys for the automation purpose. If you want to connect your AWS environment with the Terraform or any other automation tools, then we have to create these access keys basically. So we will discuss all these details, and we will do a proper production setup. Like if you will work with the production environment, you will see the similar type of setup, and we will build this type of setup here as well. Okay. Once I will complete this part, then I will move towards the AWS networking and security infrastructure, where we will discuss networking in cloud, bandwidth and latency, IP address, OSI model, routing and switching, right? I will just give the basic overview of routing and switching, all these things, firewalls, on-prem network, right? On-prem network traffic flow. So we will see the traffic flow as well, how the traffic flow in on-prem environment and how the traffic flow over the AWS environment, right? Then I will move towards the most important part of AWS, which is BPC. We will do the deep dive into the BPC because most of the configuration we are going to do over the BPC. Okay, because BPC in-depth knowledge you need for networking perspective, right? We will discuss BPC component and the on-prem devices, what is private and public AWS service, BPC structure, IP plan, custom BPC overview, BPC subnets, implementing a BPC and subnet design, implement multi tier BPC subnet, right? DSCP and BPC router deep dive, stateful and stateless firewalls, what is network ACLs in AWS, what is security group in AWS, what is BPC flow logs, how we can utilize the IPv6 in the AWS environment, right? What is BPC traffic mirroring? All these things I'm going to cover in this particular section. Once this section will complete, I will move towards the advanced feature of your BPC public networking, where we will discuss what is internet gateway, what is the meaning of egress only internet gateway, how we can configure this internet gateway, what is the need of this internet gateway, right? We will discuss all these things, how we can configure the public subnet and jump box, right? How we can bring your own IP address, how we can configure the Westian host or the jump server, what is port forwarding, what is the use of net instance in AWS, what is the use of net gateway in AWS, right? What is the design, in which design we will use net gateway, in which design we will use the internet gateway. So all these things I will cover in this particular section. Once this section will complete, I will jump into the BPC endpoint. This is the most used service nowadays, guys. If we will deploy PaloAlto in AWS environment, then we will use this BPC endpoint service. Okay, so like what is AWS private link, gateway, BPC endpoint interface, BPC endpoint gateway, all these things we will do with the help of practicals and with the help of designs. Once this part will complete, after that what I will do, I will move towards the EC2, which is a elastic compute service. Means whenever you will deploy any type of virtual environment, like you will deploy the Windows server or the ASA firewall or the Palo Alto firewall or the SD-WAN controllers or the Linux servers over the AWS, right? Everything we are doing from the EC2 console or from the EC2 service, right? Because this EC2 is a backbone of your AWS environment. So in EC2 we will discuss so many things, like I will go through with the introduction of EC2, scaling feature of EC2, limitation of EC2, new console orientation, launch EC2 instance, right? How we can launch the EC2 instance, then type of operating systems, Windows and its version, Unix and its flavors, Linux and its flavors, right? Cisco devices in AWS environment, all these things I'm going to cover with regards to your EC2. Then Palo Alto network device in AWS, like instance type, free tier limitation, what is elastic block store, right? Type of storage, difference between object and block storage, launching Windows server. From here, I will start doing the practicals. I will launch your Windows server. I will launch your Linux servers. What is system and system ports and security groups? What is key pair? Because to access your AWS resources, first time we need a key pair, right? How we can connect with the EC2 instance, how we can install the putty zen, right? How we can create a PM PEM file or PPK file, all these files, how we can generate everything I will cover, right? How we can stop or terminate the instance, what is user data, because I'm going to use this user data a lot to basically pre-configure some of these services on my AWS environment, on my AWS server. So I will use this user data and all. What is instance status check, right? So I will cover all these particular things in your EC2. How we can delete your EBS volumes, how we can enable the encryption in your EBS volume, how we can enable the protection. So if somebody try to delete your instance, he cannot able to do that, right? Pricing model, type of EBS volume, difference between SSD and HDD, right? Upgrading EBS volumes, converting the type of EBS volumes, attaching and detaching EBS volumes to EC2 instance, Amazon machine images, snapshots, creating our own Amazon machine, how we can create our EMIs. This is the most important thing. Let's suppose you want to create, because see, EMIs we use for auto scaling type of practicals, and when we will perform this auto scaling, that time I will create this EMIs, this AMIs type of things, right? Then what is deletion sequence, instance metadata, user data, status check and monitoring, what is public IP, elastic IP, what is private IP, right? All these particular features I am going to cover in this particular EC2 section. Once this part will complete, I will move towards the storage, because you see from the network point of view, let me tell you, you should be very good with the BPC environment. You have to know each and everything with regards to virtual private cloud on AWS, sir. You have to very good with the EC2 service, and you have to very good with the S3 service or the storage service. These are the three services used a lot with regards to the networking in your AWS environment. Okay. Now, storage services, I will discuss what is S3 bucket creation, file upload, versioning, replication, lifecycle management, security and encryption lab, right? Bucket sharing, lifecycle policies, Glacier, one zone, IA, all these practicals I will do with regards to your S3, right? There are so many things in your S3. So we will discuss all these particular things, like how we can create the EBS volumes, EBS versus instance store, EBS volumes type, right? Attach volumes to the running instance. So all these things we are going to cover in this particular section. How we can create a snapshots, working with the AMIs, right? All these things I will cover with regards to EC2, this S3. When this part will complete, I will go towards the EC2 and BPC combined practicals, which includes your EC2 network architecture, enhanced networking, elastic fabric adapter, placement groups, cluster, spread partition, instance metadata, right? All these topics I will cover. And after that, I'll just move towards the BPC peering fundamentals, peering the BPCs, BPC peering with the same region and the cross region, BPC peering with the different account, BPC peering with the overlapping subnets and the unsupported configuration, right? So these things I will cover with regards to the BPC peering, and this particular thing you will find in most of the organization. This BPC peering is the most important topic. And after that, I'll just move towards the BPC hybrid networking, which includes your IPsec tunnels. What is the virtual private gateway? How we can configure the AWS site-to-site VPN with your on-prem data center devices. Let's suppose in on-prem we have a PaloAlto firewall. Let's suppose in on-prem we have a Cisco ASA, or let's suppose in the other end we have a Azure cloud, or maybe we have a AWS cloud. Let's suppose we have a one of the Linux machine. How we can configure this VPN with this AWS and the Linux machine, right? And let's suppose you have a Cisco router. So all these type of VPN use cases I'm going to cover in this particular section. So there are multiple labs I'm going to perform here. Then I will also integrate this VPN service with the load balancers. So there are so many practicals I'm going to cover, and I will also explain these design and use cases. I will go through with the BGP. I'll just go tell you the basics about the BGP, not the details one. Okay. When this part will complete, I will start explaining the global accelerator VPNs, then transit gateway deep dive, add one site-to-site VPN with the other AWS account, add one site-to-site VPN with the PaloAlto, with the Cisco router. And then once this part will complete, after that, I will start your remote access VPN solution, like we have a global protect in PaloAlto or Cisco AnyConnect, right? These VPNs I will cover in the AWS environment, which is known as client VPN over the AWS environment. So I will cover these particular practicals. Client VPN overview, or the AWS remote access VPN, client VPN setup, directories, certificates, how we can generate the certificates, right? Client VPN, create VPN endpoint, configure VPN endpoint, install and test the client VPN, right? All these particular things I'm going to cover along with the routing policies and all, right? And I will also go through with this cloud front feature. This is the most important feature. Nowadays you have seen like there are lots of OTT applications are there, right? These applications use this cloud front service. So I will tell you how we can basically use this particular service in over the AWS environment. We will discuss what is denial of service, DDoS attack, right? What is AWS shield, what is AWS network firewall. I will cover these parts as well, and I will also discuss the AWS certificate manager, which is ACM service. Then I will start your elastic load balancer. In elastic load balancer, we will discuss load balancing evaluation, elastic load balancer architecture. Then we will discuss the application load balancer versus network load balancer, like AWS network load balancer, application load balancer, right? Then auto scaling, load balance security policies, gateway load balancers. This gateway load balancer is used a lot when you will deploy the PaloAlto devices over the cloud, or you will deploy any type of like PaloAlto, Checkpoint, Fortinet, any device, any firewall. You need this gateway load balancer because this is a new generation load balancing technique over the AWS environment. Then we will discuss the global escalator, elastic load balancing concept, network load balancer, right? Path-based routing, host-based routing, all these type of routings we will going to perform. Then we will discuss the EC2 auto scaling, how we can configure this auto scaling and all, right? Means auto scaling means, let's suppose we have a two servers, right? And let's suppose in both of these servers, your CPU utilization is 45%. Then AWS automatically launch two more servers. When the CPU utilization came down, let's suppose now it came around 40%, or on this it comes 30%, then these two instances will delete automatically, right? So these type of practicals and labs I'm going to perform here. And I will also add my certificates, how we can add these certificates on with your load balancers, right? What is the sticky session concept, right? All these particular things, what is proxy protocol, X forwarder for logging, all these things, guys, whatever I have mentioned, I will do the practicals. I will explain you how you can also perform these things in your environment. Once this part will complete, I will move towards the Route 53, which is a DNS service from the AWS, right? Where we will discuss all the fundamentals of Route 53, how we can register the domains, DNS records, Route 53 public hosted zones, private hosted zones, right? Alias, simple routing, Route 53 health checks, because with the load balancer, we need this Route 53s, right? So all these things I'm going to cover. Then I will cover the CDN concept, like network content delivery concept in AWS with the help of AWS Cloud Front Service. So we will cover all these particular things with the help of practicals. Guys, there's a one thing to note here with regards to this AWS hybrid networking physical, right? Which means your AWS direct connect. For this, I will not able to perform any type of practicals. Here I will only give you the theoretical overview. Okay. You will just get the theoretical overview with regards to the AWS direct connect. So this course content I will provide, and I will also give you the idea about the IAM users. What is IAM identity policies, users and ARNs, IAM groups, IAM roles, when to use IAM roles, right? Service linked roles and pass roles, security token service, all these things I will cover with regards to the IAM. Then logging and monitoring. In logging and monitoring, I will cover you CloudWatch. In CloudWatch, there is a multiple thing how we can create the graphs, billing alarm, CloudWatch graphs, right? Line graphs, all these things I will basically cover in this particular section. Once this will complete, I will basically also give you the overview of the layer 7 firewalls over the AWS, which is AWS Web. Okay, so this is the course content, guys, overall for your AWS training. Let me just tell you one more time. The requirement of this course, you just need a basic knowledge of networking, and the cost for this training is 10,000. Okay. Now guys, let's try to perform today's one of the practicals. So let me just remove this part. Today we will perform the practical with regards to the application load balancer. Okay, today what we are going to do, we are going to perform the application load balancer. What is application load balancer? Or the elastic load balancer service over the AWS environment. Okay. So guys, generally, let me first tell you what is load balancer. So I'll just give you the basic overview of this load balancer. So what used to happen generally in the production environment, guys, what we used to have in production environment, we have a servers, right? Let's suppose we have, these are the end users over the internet, right? And we have these servers. So we have a testing environment where we have a 2 servers. We have production environment where we have a 2 servers, and we have a development environment where we have a 2 servers. Okay. Now, what load balancer used to do when these particular users, they are available over the internet, when they will try to access, let's suppose one of the users try to access your testing environment. So what he will do, he will forward this request towards the AWS route 53. It will forward this request towards the AWS load balancer. Now this load balancer will decide this request he will forward toward this server or that server, right? Because it will do the load balancing. So there are multiple algorithms available with regards to load balancer, right? What it will do, load balancer is a device who will load balance the request on the basis of multiple parameters between the servers. Okay. So to perform this particular practical, or before going into this one, let me just give you the idea about this thing. What is load balancer? So what load balancer we used to do, load balancer are the servers that forward traffic to multiple servers, which is EC2 instance, and these multiple servers are the downstream servers, means behind your load balancer. Why we use load balancer? What it will do, load balancer spreads the load across the multiple servers, expose a single point of access to your application, seamlessly handle failures of the downstream instance. Means, let's suppose we have a 3 servers, server 01, server 02, and server 03. If any of this server went down, what it will do, whatever load balancer device we are having here, what it used to keeps monitoring health of the server. If this server goes down, what it will do, now load balancer stops sending request to this server. What it will do, it will send these requests to server 2, either to server 1, right? So all these things we can able to perform with regards to the load balancer. We can also go with like that, like from load balancer to the user, there is a connection over the HTTPS protocol, means your connection is over SSL on port 443, and from load balancer till these servers, maybe connection on TCP port 80 or maybe HTTP. So like these type of environment also we can able to achieve. It is like a similar to your F5 or static load balancer, but I can simply say in F5 there is a lots of services we can able to perform, but in AWS there is a limited task only we can able to do. That's the main difference. Okay. Now, so guys, to perform this particular lab, what I need 3 servers on my lab. So what I will do, I'll go here. I have already logged in on my EC2 console. Now let me just, on AWS console, let me just open my EC2 service. Let me open my BPC service. So there are the couple of prerequisite, guys, for this particular service. So if you will see, to perform this lab, what we have to do, we have to create one BPC, which I have already created, because see, this load balancer is a big lab. In demo, I cannot able to cover that much. Okay, so I have already created this BPC. This is the CID of my BPC. I have already created the subnet, 6 subnet, like 3 are the public one and 3 are the private one. And I have created the route tables as well. So my routing environment is up and running. Apart from that, if you will go on my EC2, I have created the 3 instance. Let me start these 3 VMs first. So my VMs is in starting. So we will wait here. Meanwhile, let me just open my Route 53 service and let me open my certificate manager service. So these machines is starting. So we will wait here. VM1 is start running now. So I'll go over this virtual machine 1 and I'll just copy this public IP address. Even though guys, I'm just putting this public IP address. You can also able to access the servers right now. See, on this particular virtual machine, I'm running the services. There is a one Nginx service is running on port 80 and I'm running Apache service on my port 8080. And all these things I will explain you guys how we can configure these services and everything. Okay, see, Apache server is server 1. This Apache is running, Nginx is running, right? Like that on my VM2 also I'm running the same services. If I will access over 8080, it is running the Apache server 2. And if I will just access here, it is running the Nginx service. Okay. Now I'll go here. If I will open my VM3, my virtual machine 3 is also running the services. It is running the Apache server 3 service. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do, see, let's suppose, see, these are the 3 servers I'm having now. What I want, whenever any user will try to send the request, so that request will go towards this one of these particular servers. And how we can achieve, we can able to achieve with the help of load balancers only, right? So what I will do, I'll go here into my same EC2 console. We have a load balancer tab here. So I'll just open my load balancer into another tab here. And what I will do before creating the load balancer, I will create the target groups. Target groups, what here we have to define our targets, right? So let me go here. Already there is a one target. Let me just delete. I don't want this one. So I'll go here and I will just create a target group. I will register my targets or these particular EC2 instance on the basis of instance ID. If we can also associate them with the IP address or lambda function, right? So I will just go with the instances. I will give the name to target group. So I will give the name here ALV target group. Okay. Right now, I'm just going with the HTTP, but after that, I will also convert the same connection over the SSL. Okay. I select my BPC. Before going into that one, let me also tell you one more thing, guys. Okay, I will also try to simulate one more use case. Okay, so let me first go with this small use case, and after that, I will cover the advanced one as well. Okay, so I will go with 8080 now because I'm running the service on 8080 as well, right? ALB target, I'll go with 8. I can define like the ALB target group 8 on port 8080. Leave all these settings default. It will go with the health check. Click on next. Select all these 3 servers, include as pending, and create your target group. So now target group is created. We have this target group, right? In this target group, we have these 3 targets. Right now in health check, this is the health check configuration, monitoring and all we can able to check from here. Attributes we can able to modify from here. When we will discuss in your live classes all these attribute details as well with the help of some practicals. Okay. Now, once this target is created, now I will go and I will just try to add one of the load balancer. I'll go here and let me just create one load balancer. And let's suppose I want to create a application load balancer. There are 3 type of load balancer which we can create. Let me just show you. We have an application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer, right? And all these 3 type of load balancer we will discuss with the help of practicals, and we will do multiple practicals over there. Okay. But for now, I am just going with the application load balancer, and I'll give the name which is ALV, application load balancer. I want to configure this load balancer as an internet facing, because you can also go with the internal. If your load balancer you are using just for the internal purpose, then go with internal, but this is an internet facing load balancer. Select your BPC. I will select my BPC, which is demo, and I will select all my subnets. I will select all the 6 subnets. We can also able to later on also we can able to select these subnets, right? Security group. So guys, I have created one security group who is allowing all the traffic, allow all. And if you want to see the details of this security group, let me just show you. You can see I have a allow SSL STD, this certificate group. If I will open, I have just put it here SHS STD, but it is allowing all the traffic. You can see it is allowing all the traffic, right? From inbound and from the outbound also, means it will allow all the traffic. Okay. AT80, and I will select my target group. Go and just create the load balancer. Go here. Load balancer is launching. It will take some time. Meanwhile, it is launching. Meanwhile, what I will do, let me take the access of all of my EC2 instances. I'll go here. EC2 user, let me load. Let me connect with them. Copy this. Go here and open. Accept the public key. And I have the access of one of the EC2 instance, right? I'll go here. Let me take the second access of second EC2 instance. New connection. Load it. Change the IP address. Now I got the access of second EC2 instance. Let me take the access of third EC2 instance. Load the. Why I'm loading? Because I have saved the private key previously as well. Okay, so that is the reason I'm just loading it, so I can able to get the access right away. Okay, sudo -su. Here also sudo -su, and I have the access of all my 3 EC2 instance, right? Let me go with the load balancer here. You see load balancer is in active state. Now See guys, right now, see this is the URL, right? And also let me open my Firefox browser. And just for the testing purpose, I will open the private window on my Firefox. And if I will try to access, I should able to get my access of, see, I'm getting the server 3 access. Let me just guys put this particular URL over the chat. 8080, right? Meeting group. Now guys, see, I have shared the URL. If you can able to open this URL, you will also able to get the web pages. So are you able to access the web page, guys? Can somebody confirm? I hope you guys are able to see it properly. Even though I can able to also check from here. So these are the peoples who is accessing this. So this is the command which generally we can use to see who is basically accessing which service. And guys, maybe some of you will get the access of server 1. Maybe some of you able to see the server 2 and server 3, right? See, I'm able to see the logs, right? All the request which is coming towards these servers, I can able to see somebody has access with this particular public IP address, right? Somebody has access with this particular public IP address. Some request is coming from this particular public IP address, right? So somebody has access using this public IP address, right? Somebody is using iPhone, right, for the same thing, right? So I'm getting, so maybe see right now I'm getting 2, then server 1. So now load balancing is happening. Server 3, server 2, server 1, right? Means load balancing is happening fine. Now guys, if you have noticed with this particular URL, see, let's suppose you have configured this thing. Okay, now with your customer, are you going to share this URL ALB-82399822, right? This is not the correct way of sharing these particular details, right? So what used to happen in production environment, maybe you will get Sianet.com, maybe you will get test.sianets.com, prod.sianets.com, right? This type of URL, right? So now how we can basically make the URLs in this particular way. Right now, if you will access, you have to create this type of, this is the DNS name, right? So what we have to do, you have to use one more service, which is Route 53 service on DNS. And I will go here. I'll go into my hosted zone. This is the hosted zone which I'm having. And what I will do, I'll create one record here. And let's suppose I want to create this record like ALV test. I will create one alias record. And I want to create this alias for application load balancer. And this particular alias I want to create on my North Virginia region. And this is my load balancer URL. Now you can go with ALV as well. Create the record. Now record is created. Now guys, instead of accessing this particular load balancer with that URL, now we will access this load balancer with this URL alv.bdos-cnets.com. See, bdos-cnets.com is the my company domain, right? So now let me just share this particular URL. If you will access the services using that particular URL, now you can able to access these services. And instead of this one, you can open the same thing by using port 80. I'm getting server 3, server 1, server 2, right? Then server 3 again, server 2, server 1. Now this URL looks good, but what is the problem with the URL? If you have noticed here, see, certificate problem, right? This is a unsecure connection, right? Means there is a it is not having any valid certificate. Now how we can basically achieve this task as well? How we can, and also see right now this particular website we are accessing over the port 80, which is a unsecure port, right? So now how we can make this particular website over the SSL? I'll go again into my load balancer. I'll go inside this load balancer. This is the listener I'm having, right? So I'll go here. I'll select. I'll edit the listener. And what I will do, I'll just go with HTTPS here. Port 443. I will use all these settings. Default, see, you can able to do the bait and everything. See, there are lots of things, but I will not discuss these many things today. And what I will do, I will go with the default security category, certificate from the ACM, and in ACM service, I already purchased this particular certificate from the Amazon. Okay. So now what I will do, I will just select this certificate here. Save the changes. Now guys, if you will try to access this particular website, alv.bdos-cnets.com, now you will able to see it is secure. See, it is secure, right? And certificate is verified by the Amazon. So now somebody is try to open this particular URL and you will able to get the access of my servers. So guys, just confirm who is able to access these servers now over the SSL. Now guys, if you will try to access these servers over port 80, it will not work. See, over port 80 it will not work, and even though 8080 it will not work. See, we are getting this particular thing from the cache, I hope. Okay. See, now if I will close this, let me reopen this again. Let me open the into the private mode. See, I'm not able to access it on our port 8080. Right? But if I will try directly over the HTTPS, see, I'm getting, right? Apache server 3, Apache server 1, Apache server 3 again, then server 2, right? So this is how we can basically utilize this particular load balancer. Right now, it is using the round robin algorithm. Okay. I have used the certificate and other things as well with regards to this ALV. Now, see how we have started. We have started this particular lab over port 80, right? And some random URL. Then we have make the legitimate URL, right? And after that, we have basically enabled the TLS security, right? So this is how the practical things I am going to cover in this particular training. Now, let me just do one more thing. Let's do one more practical with regards to the ALB, application load balancer. In this application load balancer, what I am trying to do, I will try to achieve the path-based routing. What I will try to achieve the path-based routing means, let's suppose somebody try to open, if somebody type the website which is https colon alv hyphen bdos hyphen cianet.com, alv.bdos hyphen cianets.com, and if he will type home page here, if he will type this home page thing here, What he will do, he will get the access of server 1. If somebody, instead of home page, if somebody is typing the songs, then he should get the access of server 2. And if somebody is typed the movies, then he will get the access of server 3. Now let's see how we can achieve this particular task. And the same thing I can also basically configure, like if somebody is trying to access like testing, then he will get the access of testing environment. If somebody type the prod, then he will get the access of production environment. And if somebody type the dev, then he will get the access of development server, right? Now, how we can achieve this particular task, guys? It's very simple. Let's go into your EC2 first. And let me just go on my first VM. Let me just see if this particular service is configured properly or not. Means if I will open, if I will try to access directly this website and I will just type home page slash, I am getting this welcome to Sianet, right? I'm getting the home page. You can see here. See, if you will access the same without typing this home page at the end, just observe the thing, observe the result. See, we are getting this welcome to Nginx, right? But when we are typing this slash home page, then we are getting this particular welcome to cnets.com home page, right? In similar way, if I'll go on my VM2, in VM2, I'm running this particular song service. Let's suppose this is my song server. So I will type here songs slash. See, I'm getting the cnets.com song server, right? And if somebody, see, this is just, I'm just checking my services running properly or not, right? And once I will test all of that, what I will do, I will basically go and I will just try to access the same thing using the load balancer. Okay. See, movies, I can able to access the movies one as well. Now let's test all these things. So what you have to do, you have to go to into your target group, and what we will do, we will create the target groups. I will create the target group. I'll give the name to this target group, easy homepage. This is the name I am just putting to my target group. I'll go with the protocol, which is port 80. I will select the BPC, which is BPC demo. And I will just go with the health check homepage slash. Go, and in this particular, I only include my VM1 because VM1 is the home server. Okay, so I'll go here and I'll just include as pending and create this target group. So one target group is created. Now go and create the another target group for songs. TG-songs. Select your BPC. Song slash for health check. Next, select your instance, which is VM2. Include as pending and create the target group. See, maybe, see, I'm doing this practical, so maybe you will not able to comfortable right now, but in the live sessions, because I will build the environment from scratch. That time you will able to understand everything. See, if I will start building the environment from scratch right now, it's very hard for me to complete the things within a 1 hour of demo. It's very difficult. Okay, that's why I'm having couple of pre-configured settings on my VMs, and I'm just doing these particular demos. Okay, now I'll go in. I have created for the movies as well, and I will select VM3, include as pending, and create the target group. Now, see, I have a 3 target group, and I'll go with my, I'll select here ALB load balancer. I'll go into the listeners and I'll just add this listener this time. What I want HTTPS one, or let's first test over the HTTP only. Okay, later on we will basically update with the HTTPS. Now forward this request to the target group, which is refresh it, target group, which is home page. And I will just select this single target group for now. Go and just create the rule. Go here. I have a ALV, right? In this ALV, I just have a two listeners. One is listening on port 80, right? Now, what you will do this time, I'll go here. And I have, this is the URL of my ALV, right? I'll go into this URL. And if I'll type home page and just put HTTP as well. Not S here, just only HTTP. I'm getting welcome to Nginx. I'm getting the welcome to Sianets homepage, right? Where I have added this particular like YouTube link as a, so that's why we are able to see this link as well here. Okay. ALB videos -cns.com homepage. Guys, just try to access this particular URL if you are able to see. I'm just putting the URL over the chat. Guys, just confirm if you are able to see the same page, which I am able to see here. var/log/nginx. So you can see I have seen couple of requests from couple of public IPs, like these are the public IPs, somebody accessing from the Linux and all, right? So Bharat, for you it's not working, right? But about others, are you guys able to see? Because I can see couple of people able to see the same thing. It's working, right? Okay. Now guys, what we will do, see, I can able to access when I'm typing this home/homepage/, right? I can able to see the server one. This is my server one. Check the logs, right? Now, what I will do, if I will just replace this home page with the songs, I'm getting the error, right? See, I'm getting the error right now. And if I will replace with the movies, I'm getting the error. Now, what I have to do, I'll go here. I'll go into this particular listener and I'll add the rule. And let me just add this rule just for the songs one. Next, add the condition. What is the condition? I want to configure the path-based routing. I have to configure the path-based routing. And what is the path? Path is /song/star. Configure. Next. And we can forward this request. This is the action we have to define. And I want this request will go towards the songs target group. Next. Priority is 1. Next. And create. And this time, as I have created this particular link, if I will try to open songs, guys, after songs, put the /, then only it will work. Okay. Now you can see I'm getting the song server access. So this is how we can able to configure the path-based routing. If I'll go here, again, if I will add one more rule, movies, next, add the condition, I want to go with the path-based routing. And the values for this path-based routing is movies /star. Next, and it can forward this request towards the movies target group. Next, I will just put this rule at the 10th place. Next, create. Let me just go into this songs one. I want to add it. Next, I'll go with the default settings. I only wanted to edit the priority here. Reprioritize the rules, and I want to put this rule at the 5th place because I will just do one more test here. So that is the reason I'm just putting 5th number. Save. Now guys, see, I have created all my, these are the path-based routing. See, if I will just type /homepage, what I will do, I'll just fall back into this particular rule. I will get the access of server 01. Okay. If I will type /songs, in that case, I will get the access of server 2, and this particular rule will match. And it's a path-based routing in your load balancer. If I will type /movies, then this particular rule will hit. Okay. Now, if you will go here, let's test these things basically. If I'll type here movies, you can able to see, I can able to get the movie server access. So guys, this is how we can able to configure the path-based routing. Now let's do one thing. Let's do one more lab. Let's suppose what I want. Let's suppose I have these two special users. These are the two special users. And what I want, whenever these people, they are trying to access the server, what they will do, their request will always go into the home page server. The server which is running this home page service means on server 01, always. So if you want to achieve that task, what you can able to do, you can able to do configure the source based routing on the basis of source. So guys, can two people share the public IP address? Just open your browser and type what is my IP. Type in your browser what is my IP and share the public IP, your public IP address. You will be able to see the public IP address like that. So I'll get one public IP address from Bharat Singh. I'm just putting these public IPs on my notepad. I need two more if possible, guys. 171.50.183.166. I need one more IP address if somebody can share. Because this is my public IP address. I'll copy mine one as well. Now, what I will do. Okay, I got one more IP address from 7. So let me just put his IP address 180.45. So what I want, see, if I will get the request from these IP address, what I want, these requests will always go into the server 1, or let's suppose on server 1, right? Always the requests coming from these two IPs, always they will fall back to server 1. Let's try to configure that part. 164.24. So these are the three IP address I'm going to use right now. Okay. So how we can achieve that task? I'm just doing it, guys. Okay. What you can do, you can go into your load balancer right now. You can go here and you can add one more rule. And this time you can just put IP based routing. Next, add condition, and I want to configure the condition on the basis source IP address. And these are the three IPs I am having. So I will just select these IP. Here you can also able to define the range 32. Add a new value. /32 and add this new value as well. /32. So here we can able to define total of 5 values only, just remember. Okay. Next, next. And this request will forward towards the target group, which is homepage target group. Or we can also, let me just do one thing. Let me just, okay, I cannot able to, I think, yeah, I can able to create one more target group. Let's do one small change here. Okay. What I want TG test. I will create this testing target group. And what I want, whenever, if somebody is accessing this and they are sending request on port 8080 over HTTP, they should get the access of 8080. All things are good. I have selected BPC. Things are good. Next, they should get the access of VM1 where I'm running the Sianets server 1. Include, create the target group. Now this test target group is created. Refresh. Just select your test target group. Next. And priority you can put first. So this rule will go at the first priority. Next, create. So I have this one. So guys, now these three persons who is having these three IP address. Now if you will try to access my load balancer, what you will see, you will able to get the access of server 1. If you three people will try to open. So what you can do, this is the URL. Try to open this URL in your browser and you will get the access of these servers. Meanwhile, just for the testing purpose, let me add my IP address as well, which is this one. On the same rule, so I can show you the same thing is working or not, right? I'll go here, I'll select this rule. Let me edit the rule. Edit the condition. Let me add one more IP address. /32 in the CIDR format. Confirm. Next. 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 And I hope guys, you guys are able to access the server 1. This time, if I will access this URL, I will get not this one. 1 minute, not on HTTP. It's just on HTTP. Copy. Go here. Paste and access on port 80 only. It is going on HTTPS every time. See, it's not HTTPS. I have to access on HTTP. So let me just go here again. And you can see I'm getting the Apache web server 1, right? And I will get the same server all the time. Okay. So if you will basically access the server, like this is how we can basically track the different type of routing things. This is how we can able to deploy, right? So in similar fashion, these are the main use case which I'm going to cover. Like whatever use case is possible with regards to your AWS practicals and all, I'm going to cover. There are so many features are there, right? We can also see if you have a 3 servers or 4 servers in your local environment, like in your on-prem environment, your data center, and that later these requests is landing over the AWS, then also we can able to achieve this type of load balancing as well, right? So these type of use cases I will also cover, right? So it in this training, let me just conclude one more point. Most of the things are the practicals one. Okay, I will do the similar labs with the help of multiple practicals, multiple designs I'm going to discuss. And if you will see here, see, I will basically use these type of images for doing the practicals, if you will see. And even though, if let me just show you one more thing, and after that I will just bind up this particular session. 1 minute. So we will discuss all these routing, how we can able to configure them, how this stickiness work, how we can able to see these cookies and all. There are so many things are there, and I'm going to cover everything. How we can basically enable this X forwarder headers, right, to see the internal IP address, see the original IP address of the users, right? And even though see later on what I will do when your classes will complete, I will basically cover these 3 designs. How we can achieve the load balancing across the on-prem server means, let's suppose these are the server which you have in your on-prem in your data centers, and client will send these requests towards the AWS load balancer. And between your AWS and your on-prem data center, there is a VPN connection or there is a direct connect. These connections, how we can achieve these load balancing. These are the industry use case, guys. You will not found these solutions over the YouTube and nowhere, because these are the something which requires lots of R&D, lots of knowledge. And if you have done that particular practicals, or if you have done these tasks in the production environment, then only you can able to configure. Then I will cover this particular use case as well, right? Let's suppose your servers are available in some different VPC. How we can achieve that task? Load balancing across paired VPC. Then I will discuss the internet facing and internal load balancer, all these things, like what is the difference, how we can do the things, right? And then I will move towards your auto scaling and all, where I will create some images I will get from the internet, and I will cover the things in this way, right? And you will get these particular daily notes, right? I will explain the all the topics. These are topics we are going to cover, and you will get these type of notes. So it will basically complete your theoretical things as well. Even though I will also share these commands, how we can create these type of things, right? Some steps with regards to lab, right? So these are the things I'm going to cover in this particular training. Okay, guys, one more time, let me just tell you. So this particular batch, I'm starting from 3rd of Feb. It's a weekends batch. Just remember, and your classes will happen 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and I need total of 10 weekends. So there are total of 20 classes. Total of 20 classes will be there. And fees for this training is 10,000 for Indian students and 150 USD for the international students. Okay, guys. So one more time, thank you very much for joining this particular session. Now you can ask any type of questions if you have. So let me just give you the mute permissions.